Hey there guys, welcome back onto my channel. So I'm here in a beautiful view. So if you can, I hope you can see the sun setting down, but it is beautiful to watch that. So in my previous video, I had done a book review. So after that book review, I was eager and excited to do the next book review as I love about cosmology and even all about space. So today I'm continuing the series, which is George's Secret Key series, and that book is George's Cosmic Treasure Hunt. So if you can't see this properly, the photo is over here. So I hope you can see this. So George's Cosmic Treasure Hunt by Stephen Hawking and Lucy Hawking. So if you haven't seen my previous video, the link is somewhere around here. Please click it and make sure you watch the video and then come back to this video, as I have discussed about Stephen Hawking and even done a book review of the first book in this series. So without any further ado, let's jump in the book review of this book. So talking about the cover design of this book, it is beautifully illustrated by Gary Parsons, and it also has the photos from satellites, which like this. I hope you can see this. If can't, the photo is over here. So like this is by the NASA, but it is not NASA, it is Hubble Space Telescope. The Mars close approach taken by the Hubble Space Telescope at 2007. So this is inserted in this book by Christoph Galfard, a student of Stephen Hawking in his career. So before we get in the book, let us see the main characters of this book. So the first main character is George, the book revolves around, and the next main character is Annie, who is a girl, next door neighbor of George, and Eric, who is father of Annie and the next door neighbor of George again. So then comes Susan, who is a mom of Annie, and then comes Cosmos, the world's most powerful computer, which is personified. So I am addressing it as he. And then comes Dr. Graham Reaper, who is some sort of villain in this book. And then George's mom and dad, and that's it. So now let's see the gist about this book, which is behind this book. George and his best friend Annie are well practiced at traveling around the universe in a spaceship. But even they don't know what to make of a robot behaving very strangely on Mars. It's not long before George and Annie realize things aren't quite as they seem and are swept up into a new intergalactic adventure that might just prove whether aliens are real. So this is the gist about the book, which is behind the book. So now let's see my version of the summary, so stick around till the end. So this book is like George had a great time with his next door neighbors. When he have a doubt, he goes to his next door neighbors and clarifies his doubt. So I hope you guys know that his next door neighbors. Yep, Annie and Eric. But suddenly, Eric got an invitation from Florida, USA, from a global space agency. They invited Eric to the job, and their job was to find planets which sustains life. So Eric accepted that invitation, and within a few days, he was going to be packing up and moving to Florida. But now George was depressed and heartbroken seeing his next door neighbors packing up and leaving to Florida. So they went to Florida, and after a few months, George got a mail from Annie saying that it was an emergency and George has to come to meet Annie. So George's mom and dad are eco warriors. How did George get this computer from which he got the mail? Yup, in the last book, which I made it as a suspense, I hope you guys read that book. So in that book, in the final, George got a gift. Not a gift, he actually won a science competition and he got a gift as a computer. So now he got this mail from this computer. So George was confused. He didn't know how to go to Florida from England. And his mom and dad are very unique, and his mom and dad will never ever allow George to go to Florida. And then he had a clever plan, and he mailed to his grandma saying that grandma, it is emergency and I have to go to Florida. So his grandma is deaf, and then she mailed back saying that, wait George, I'm coming. And within a few hours she arrived, and she argued with George's mom and dad, and she finally took George to Florida. And George's mom and dad also went to a picnic to South Pacific for their next eco mission. And even the pig, Freddy, was going off to a picnic, which is children's farm. So when George went to meet Annie, he finally met Annie, and Annie started telling the emergency why she called. So before a few days George arrived, they sent a rowboat to Mars, Homer. It is a really expensive rowboat, and it was sent to Mars to find is there any chance that is the life Mars can sustain life. So Homer found. They all thought that Homer would find everything, and in the future they may live in Mars. But instead, Homer started doing some stupid things like taking his own tire prints. It was so crazy. And Eric was disappointed and he was sad. And this mission was a failure. So after that, Homer started giving some warning kind of signal, and nobody noticed that. And Annie got a message from Cosmos. So Cosmos, the world's most powerful computer, now was 3/4 repaired, because in the previous book, Cosmos took Eric from the black hole, which everyone thought that it was impossible, but Cosmos tried and he did it. But now he couldn't work again properly, and he also didn't allow anyone to go in space because he couldn't even turn on. But he was just 3/4 repaired, and Annie got this message and she took quick drawing of that, and then Cosmos was fully repaired, and there was some chances that it could be mended again. So Annie thought that this message, which is this, could be from aliens, and she thought that there must be someone who is living out there and trying to be in contact with us by sending messages to Cosmos. So Annie, she tried of telling her dad about this, but her dad, didn't even believe her. So George, Annie decided to mend Cosmos, but it was impossible. And then Annie had a friend who is Emmett. And Emmett is like a junior scientist. He knew everything about computers and even about globe as space and even the Drake equation, which is this. So Emmett mended Cosmos and he allowed George and Annie to move in space. So George and Annie went to space and they went to Mars, where they saw Homer, and Homer drew the same signs which Annie got and the message which she got, and Homer drew the same message on the ground of Mars. So then they moved to Titan in Saturn, which is one of the moon of Saturn, and they got their next clue there. And then directly they went out of solar system and went to Alpha Centauri. Not that star. Alpha Centauri is a star, but nearby Alpha Centauri there is a planet, and they went there. So this planet has two stars which it rotates. Like when Alpha Centauri A rises, Alpha Centauri B sets, and it was complete rotation. So now they had no idea where their next clue was. They didn't even get for a long time. And then Eric arrived. He believed now Annie and George, and he was sad because Cosmos couldn't open the reverse portal and there was no way they could return back to their Earth. And then suddenly, Eric, Annie and George was transferred to another planet, and then they saw a shadowy figure nearby, and it was so creepy. And then they got to know that it was none other than Dr. Graham Reaper with a hamster. It is actually a disguise. It is a supercomputer in disguise of a hamster. So now it was a difficult fight, not those violence, non-violence by telling their stories, what happened and who is true and who is not true and they are wrong. So who wins this fight? Do they both become friends? Nope. It's up to you to find out. Read the book and enjoy yourself. So hopefully you guys liked this video and found this really helpful. If you did, leave a like to this video. There is no forcing and you can always remove that like. And if you're new to my channel, make sure you watch my previous videos and subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell icon so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video. And in my next video, I will be continuing this series. Or no, you must find out, so stay tuned. So until then, goodbye.